See how it goes.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. What's up, you guys? All right, it's 3 p.m. as promised. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, why are you doing that? Definitely not happening right now. After, please. I'm already freezing, as you can see. You want to warm me up first? Hey, anyone and everyone. We are going to be doing a little bit of mobility together today. We're probably going to do a good hour session. Yeah, we're just going to stretch out a little bit together, do a bit of mobility drills at first, and then do a few exercises and finish with some meditation. So we're going to have some fun. Hopefully some of you are going to join us soon, and I'm going to leave about like 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to start. So in the meantime, we've got little Mowgli in the background. What you doing? What you doing? He's the only one that's joined us so far. Hey guys. Oh, got like a few streams going on. Jonathan's stream's going on because he's going to work out with us, and my stream going on. You know, little Mowgli's been very cheeky. What are you doing, baby? You like freaked out at your set there.
He's freaking out.
He's freaking out. Oh my God. Ooh. Well, I hope everyone has had some amazing holidays. Some amazing cruelty-free holidays, and that you had some good, that hopefully you're able to spend some time with family and stuff, you know, and do some cool activities. One of my favorite activities was painting, actually. My mom set us up the whole like painting activity. It was very fun. Okay, so you feeling good there?
Yep.
Oh, we're going to be starting standing, actually. Whenever you're ready to come up to your mat in a standing position.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. I think, yeah, kind of reaches the whole thing. Mm-hmm. All right, I am going to, I would suggest for you, okay, yeah, stay there then. Right here. Okay, so let's first start by inhaling our arms up to the sky. And when you do so, really try to expand the mobility in your shoulders. So imagine you're trying to reach behind your head, right? You're really putting intention and trying to get a full range of motion in those shoulders. And then we're just going to give ourselves a nice little side bend. So we're going to reach our right arm down to our right hip. And we're just going to push out a little bit here and reach our left arm to the wall as much as we can, really trying to feel the length on our whole left side body here. Make sure that your palm is facing down a little bit more, pinky down, and try to extend your arm as much as you can. Try to reach your arm. Yeah, reach for that wall and try to push those hips out as much as you can. And now start slowly starting to open that shoulder up to the ceiling a little bit. Almost like you're trying to get your chest up, open towards the sky. And then come back up nice and slowly using a bit of core strength. Reach that left arm to your left hip and start reaching the right arm overhead and to the opposite wall. Keep your abs nice and tight here. Push those hips out and reach that arm nice and straight. Try to take a deep inhale here if you can. Reach, reach, reach. Make sure that palm is pointing down, pinky's pointing down, and then slowly start reaching and looking up with your chest, like you're trying to rotate your chest towards the ceiling. And come back up nice and slowly reach both arms up to the ceiling. Interlace your fingers and reach up towards the sky.
And then try to keep stability in your legs, and we're gonna go up on the tip of our toes, trying to keep stability in the ankles, trying not to collapse in the ankles. Back down nice and slowly. Let those arms go all the way behind you. Interlace your fingers behind you. Try to really open that chest up as much as you possibly can. And then from here, we're just gonna slowly hinge from our hips. So imagine like you're shoving your butt back towards the wall behind you, all the way behind you, and you're stretching out the back of your legs, keeping them nice and straight. And if you can, slowly start reaching your fingers up towards the ceiling, and then maybe even towards the wall in front of you. As you let everything go here, let the shoulders release, let your head and neck release, let everything release over your legs here. Spend a few seconds really taking deep inhales and exhales. Notice what you're feeling in your body. Notice the stretch at the back of the legs. Notice maybe the discomfort in the shoulders. Move your neck around, little yeses and no. And then bring your arms all the way back down towards the ground. Let the arms go completely. Let yourself just kind of wiggle down and get closer and closer to the earth beneath you. And then from here, let your head be heavy. And we're going to inhale one vertebrae at a time as we come up, and the rest of our body stays heavy. And we're inhaling from our lumbar spine to our thoracic spine to our cervical spine last. And then the head comes up here. Nice. Turn those shoulders a little bit forward and back. Create some movement here. Even bring your fingers to your shoulders. And imagine you're drawing circles with your elbows on the walls on each side of you. You're trying to draw super wide circles, like you have chalk at the end of your elbows on each wall, on each side. And now do the opposite direction that you were already doing. Notice what you're feeling in your shoulders as you're doing that, in your wrists by keeping the contact with the shoulders and the hands. Nice. Good. Now release the arms, shake it out here, and we're just going to bring our arms into a cactus position, and we're going to bring a little twist in one side and twist on the other side, and you're trying to look over your shoulders, and you're trying to keep your hips pointing at the front a little bit more. Like you don't want to be moving your feet or anything. You want to keep your legs super stable. You look forward, you look back. You look forward, you look back. And then you could start adding a bit more of a swing to that, right? So use a bit of momentum. I would suggest gazing forward as you're doing that so you don't get too dizzy. So just shift from side to side, get movement in your rib cage here. Feel that motion in the spine as well. Be nurturing to your spine. Don't try to crank yourself too much, but just feel the different sensations like you're trying to wring out your spine right now. And relax, just shake it out. So we're just gonna do a few breathing techniques from here. And it's actually a part of yoga a little bit, and I really liked this breathing technique. So we're gonna do it together. So imagine you interlace your fingers together and you press your palms into one another. And we're gonna be pressing our fingers like that under our chin, okay? And in this position here, imagine as you press your chin down, you start inhaling your arms up towards the sky here, okay? So your elbows go up towards the sky as you press your chin down. And then as you start reaching your chin up, you bring your elbows in towards one another. So it's just a motion here where as we squeeze our forearms and our elbows together, we push our chin up. And as we start pushing our chin down into our hands, we start lifting our elbows up. So we're going to do the opposite here. So from here is going to be our exhale. And from here, we're going to be inhaling. Reaching up, inhaling, and then exhaling as we press into our palms and lift the elbows up as high as we can. Inhale as you push your chin up and you reach your forearms together. Exhale as you start coming down. Add pressure into the hands. Let the elbows go up as high as you can and keep working with your breath here. Inhale up. Try to make it last your entire breath, and then exhale down and try to make that last your entire breath as well. So we're inhaling up, pushing our chin up, squeezing our forearms together, and we're exhaling as we open our hands, push our chin into our hands, and reach our elbows up. Let's do one more like that, you guys. Inhale up, squeeze those arms together, and then exhale. Excellent, excellent. Okay, shake those arms off here. Feel how much awesome heat it's generated in your neck right now. So from this position here, we're just gonna open our arms up into our, well, I can't even say it to them. We're gonna open our arms up here into this amazing position, anatomical position, the word that I couldn't say properly. And from here, open those shoulders up. Feel like you're trying to reach your arms down. So squeeze your quads right now. Tuck the pelvis a little bit. This in yoga is called our warrior, our mountain pose. So in this mountain pose here, really press your arms down. Open those palms up. Feel like you're squeezing your shoulder blades into one another, like you're trying to open that chest up. And then feel like you're tucking your pelvis a little bit. So we don't want our bums sticking out like this, right? We want to try and tuck the pelvis in, almost like we're trying to tuck the tailbone in between our legs, right? So imagine like a dog or one of our companions, their tail extends from the tailbone. And imagine you're trying to tuck that in between your legs. So there's a nice little tuck happening here. So open those hands up wide, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the quads, squeeze the legs. Feel this energy coming up from your heels, reaching all the way up to your head. And as if within that contrast, you could feel yourself reaching for the ground at the same time. So it's like you feel a flow of energy coming up from your heels up to the head and then rushing back down into your arms. And then it's coming back up from the base of the feet, coming up and rushing down through your arms. So imagine you could feel that energy flow through your body like that right now and keep every muscle in your body engaged right now. So even tuck that chin a little bit, feel the length at the back of the neck, feel the length in your spine. You're purposely trying to find length in your spine. Engage those lower ribs, stick them in, feel the engagement in your abs, the tuck in the pelvis, the engagement in the legs, the reaching down with the arms. Those are all the cues that we're constantly reminding ourselves as we stay in our mountain pose and as we breathe consciously. So make sure you're taking deep inhales and exhales here. Stay in this strong, strong mountain position in our mountain pose. And from this position, just let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Take a few deep breaths here as you feel that whole left side lengthening here. And then bring your head back to center, gaze forward, and let the left ear fall to the left shoulder. And imagine your head is super heavy, and you're not really trying to control this motion. You're just trying to let your left ear drop towards the left shoulder as you maintain all of those cues in our mountain pose. So breathe into that position, come back to center here, and now just drop your chin down in towards your chest. Imagine you're almost trying to reach your chin towards the opposite direction, to come out towards your back. So reach it in as much as you can. And now we're going to grab both of our hands and we're just going to come and grab the top of our head and pull down here with the elbows almost touching one another. Breathe into the space in the back of your neck here. Notice your fascia. Your fascia, this amazing, amazing web of connected tissue that links your entire body together. Notice until where you can feel your fascia pulling in this position. Notice if it's pulling all the way down your back, down your shoulders, just in your neck. Notice where you're feeling the sensations as you breathe into it. Let your head come back up nice and slowly. And from here, as we're going to press our hands up, we're actually going to press our chin back down. So there's this motion and this contrast. We're going to take different angles from center, moving our chin towards our left shoulder, and then moving our chin towards our right shoulder. And we're just, without necessarily moving our body. So we're not moving our body, we're just moving our neck. So imagine, as you're trying to press up into your chin, you're also trying to press down. And then you just move your chin to look towards your right and you do the same. And you repeat that a few times, just moving your neck and adding your own type of pressure here, pushing into your hands and pushing your chin up as well. So you're feeling like you're creating this extra strength in your own neck here, right? Feel the heat generating in your neck as you do this small mobility exercise. Excellent. Now just let the head go. Draw little circles from one shoulder to the other. Your chin drops down. We look over one shoulder. We go over to the other. Nice. And now just let the head, so for those of you who maybe you feel dizzy or whatnot, be careful with this one. Maybe be close to something that you can hold. And just let your head drop back nice and slow here.
Kirsten's in the chat.
Oh, cool. You know what's funny is I thought that was your signal. It looked like a Not Nation, like your yellow background. You know, you with your face popping out. And I was like, how is he doing that? Hi, Kirsten. Okay, so from here we're feeling the amazing feelings in our neck here. We've already generated all this heat. So we're going to do a few of our sun salutation parts, but just the first part, we're going to sweep the ground a little bit. So from here, again, working with our breath because it's so important. Our breath is so important. It's connected to everything. And without our breath, we wouldn't be alive. So it is so important. And we really have to be grateful for that breath. And it feels amazing when we're able to connect with that and take a little bit of time out of our day. So I'll get you to go forward just a little bit more. Or we could do the opposite if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from here, we're going to inhale our arms up overhead. And then from this position, we're going to let our arms go back and we're going to drop as we hinge from the hips all the way down. And we're going to sweep the floor with our hands in opposite directions as if we're trying to hug ourselves. And then we're going to come all the way back up. One vertebra at a time, opening back up. So as we drop down going into a hinge with a nice straight back. Okay, all the way down. And then we sweep the ground, and here we let ourselves round and round. And from here, as we come back up, yeah, that nice hug, as we come back up, one vertebra at a time, and then we reach back up again. And we're just going to repeat that 3 more times together on our breath. So really inhale up all the way, and then exhale all the way down, diving into your swan. Really just grab the ground beneath you, hug yourself, and come all the way back up, one vertebra at a time. Reach, reach, reach on that. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, let go. Swan dive. Let everything release towards the earth beneath you, and inhale back up, one vertebra at a time. Let's do that one more time together, you guys. Inhaling up. Feel the reach, feel the expansion in the body, and exhale, swan diving with a nice straight back until you let yourself fully round towards the ground, sweeping the floor, hugging yourself tight, and coming back up one vertebra at a time. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Excellent. Amazing. I hope we're starting to feel a lot better in our spine right now. I'm making sure that we're moving multi-directionally and that we're really warming ourselves up. So we're actually going to come down into our downward dog position next. What's going on? Okay, so from here, hands at the front of our mat, we're gonna step our feet back. A really good way to calculate our downward facing dog is to start from our plank position. And as we calculate from this nice alignment with our wrists, our elbows, and our shoulders all stacked up one on top of the other. And again, trying not to, from here, we're not trying to stick the butt out, but we push ourselves all the way back, trying to bring the heels down to the ground, our head in between our arms here. So ears in between arms, and trying to stick the tailbone up towards the sky as much as we possibly can here. So now from our downward dog, we're just gonna shift our hips from side to side a little bit, letting them fall from one side to the other. Excellent. And now from here, we're actually gonna inhale our right leg up. Just watch the wall behind you. Try to inhale it up as high as you can, and then bend that knee and feel that whole opening on your right side body here. And now from this position, we're gonna bring our right leg all the way to step it beside our right hand. Yes, and now from this position, first we're just gonna keep our hands well grounded on the mats beneath us. And we're gonna try and keep this knee coming in and hugging our right shoulder. So we want to feel like we're creating a nice frame here. And if this is too much for you, you could drop your back knee. You could drop your left knee down here and let it rest for a little bit. But if not, challenge yourself and keep that back leg lifted and knee lifted and keep it strong and feel those hips sinking down and those hip flexors opening a little bit. So now from here, we're going to reach our right arm up across our chest, up towards the ceiling. And we're even going to try and open that chest up as much as we possibly can towards the ceiling, keeping this knee in as much as we can as well. Feel and embrace that twist. We're going to bring that hand back down, and we're going to go back to our downward facing dog. Good work, everyone. Take a deep breath in your down dog here. Move those hips side to side a little bit. And now let's inhale that left leg up, all the way up towards the sky, and then bend the knee and try to open that whole left side body up here. Breathe into that. Imagine you're bringing your knee towards me. Bring your knee towards me, all the way towards me. Yeah, open that hip up, open that hip up. Perfect. And now we're going to step the left leg, boom, right beside our left hand. We're going to keep ourselves super anchored here and grounded at first. Hands are grounded into the earth. We're gazing forward. We're still trying to find a nice, long, straight spine and back. We could bring our knee down on our right side if this is too hard for us right now. It's a little too much. And if not, we could challenge ourselves and keep that leg up and strong. Try to keep the knee glued to the left shoulder. And now from here, we're going to lift our left arm up and reach up for the ceiling. And then we're going to start opening that chest up to the ceiling as well. Still trying to maintain this leg in and strong. Breathe into that. Notice the different restrictions when we're twisting like that. And come back down. We're going to go back to our downward facing dog here, all the way back. Reach your butt back all the way, and from here we're going to walk our dog out. So bend one knee at a time as you press the opposite heel down, and then come back up to the tip of your toes on both sides, and then do the exact opposite. Press one heel down, and keep the other knee bent, and then do the opposite. Reach up to the tip of the toes, opposite heel down. Nice. Up to the tip of the toes, opposite heel down. We're really trying to walk our dog here, guys. We don't want to run our dog too much. We want to walk it as much as possible, taking our time so we can feel this stretch in the calves and in the hammies. Okay, so from here, we're going to bring our knees down as wide as our mat here. And we're going to bring our toes together as if we were setting up to our child pose. Okay. And now from this position here, we're just going to twist ourselves onto our right side first. So imagine your left arm is coming across towards your left thigh, and you're reaching yourself all the way back. Do you want to adjust it really quickly, or? And you're you want to keep those hips pointing forward as much as possible, clearly by keeping the legs super stable. And you want to use your left arm as a lever on your thigh. So you're reaching across toward that thigh. And if it's too wide apart, you could bring them in a little bit closer if that's too wide for you, okay? Because we want to keep a nice straight spine. And we want to reach across this thigh and then reach all the way behind us, still maintaining a lot of length in the spine. So feel that nice twist here. Reach back, big inhales, big exhales. Nice. And try to even make your chin look over your shoulder as well, so we can really expand on our range of motion in our neck. And then come back to center, and we're just gonna do a nice little switch here with our right arm across our left thigh. What happened? Cramping in the feet? Nah. I'm sure a few people are going through this right now. And all the way back, we reach that left arm back. So try to maintain a super long spine. So come more over here. Yeah. And lengthen up. Yeah. Shoulders down, get your spine up. Yes. And now use the intention on that thigh here to crank yourself open a little bit more. And remember to look over that shoulder so that you can get the range of motion and a little bit more mobility in your neck. And think about it, that's just important when we're driving, right? Something as simple as driving, for example. And back to your front position. Excellent. So now we're going to use Mowgli, what do you think you're doing? We've got a joiner. I've got 3 cats here, so I'm surprised that we only have one that's hanging out with us right now. They usually love the yoga and gym stuff. Okay, so we're going to go and use our child pose position here. So if you want, you could back up a bit more so that you have a bit more space at the front of the mat. And then we're just going to come and we're going to walk ourselves out. So first, make sure you tuck your toes under, okay? We want to make sure our toes are tucked under because we're going to get a good stretch at the back of those toes here. So what I'm kind of doing is I'm in my child pose position, toes towards one another, but I'm bending so that I can feel a really nice stretch at the back of my toes here. Oh, some people have some bendy toes more than others. Yeah. Oh, you're coming onto my mat now, eh? Mwah. So now from here, we're going to do our wave position. So imagine you're reaching your arms out all the way forward, and you're trying to press your butt down towards your heels as much as you can, and your heels are elevated right now. So it should be a little bit easier. And then from here, as you gaze, look forward just for a second, look at the distance. Yeah, and then from here, we're just gonna round ourselves forward all the way. We're gonna let our legs come off the ground as we reach our chest up. Yeah, so that's it. So let those legs be up, and you can even keep your big toe mounts together. And then reach yourself up. Open your chest up as much as you can. This might be a little too much for you. You might have your arms a little bit more forward, and that's okay too. It just depends on your back bend here, on how much we can extend our spine. So now from here, we're gonna tuck. So imagine you're trying to bring your head to the back of your feet, right? You're trying to touch your feet to your head. That's how much arch we want in our spine. And now from here, we start tucking our chin again and rounding our entire spine again, like we're rounding. Tuck the toes under and push yourself all the way back and get that stretch out of those toes right now. We're only gonna keep the toes like that for one more and then we'll go long. So from here, round as you come forward, round your entire spine in your mad cat. As you let your hips go down, you reach your feet up. Try to keep your arms as straight as you can, shoulders back, yes. And reach your head. Ooh, you're almost close because of your dreads. You've got advantage going on over here. And then reach the back of your head all the way towards your feet here. Excellent. As we go back this time, we're going to go to the tops of our feet. So don't curl your toes under. Tuck your head all the way. Go to the tops of your feet here. And let yourself go all the way, even further back. You'll notice you're going to get more of a flexion in your spine here. And now from here, we're just gonna round ourselves forward as if we were doing the same thing, but we're gonna stop in our tabletop. You're like, what? And then from our tabletop position, I'm gonna let you be in that position. I'm gonna go in a sideways angle, so two different. So you wanna make sure that your knees are right under your hips, okay? We have that nice little hip width apart here. Our hands are also right under our elbows and our shoulders, okay? We wanna find a nice distance in our table here. So at first with a neutral spine, it should look like someone could drink water from my back right now. They could put a glass on my back and literally just have a drink. And when we're gonna start moving into our cat-cows, we're gonna create extension and flexion in our spine. So extension means we're going into this position here, which is our sway cow back here, okay? So this is your extension. This is you extending your spine here, okay? And now we're gonna start tucking our chin, we're actually gonna start tucking our pelvis. So we're gonna start from the hips here, okay? We're gonna tuck the pelvis, still gaze up, start tucking, round your spine, and the last thing to go and tuck is your head. And now find that entire mad cat position, round your entire spine, and that's your spine in flexion. So now we're flexing our spine here. So from here, keep pushing yourself away from the ground. Imagine you're trying to push your chest away from you through the ceiling, and you're tucking your chin, and you could really feel everything stretching in your back body. And now we're gonna do the opposite, but we're gonna start moving from our pelvis again. So from here, keep your head tucked and start sticking your butt out. Stick your tailbone up, start arching your spine, and the last thing to come up is your head. So feel that if you really do your cat-cows in a slow and aware manner, you'll be able to feel every vertebrae of your spine. It's beautiful. It's an amazing feeling to be able to do this. So you can even close your eyes here. We're going to do this a few times with our own breath. We're going to go up to 5 cat-cows with our own breath, okay? And it's all going to start from our pelvis. So when I say stick your butt out, I mean you're going into your sway cow back, okay? Your cow sway back. When I say tuck your pelvis, you're going into your mad cat back, okay? That's what that means. So this one is paired with your exhale. And this one in your cow back is paired with your inhale. So here we inhale. And here we tuck from the pelvis. The head goes last. We exhale. We inhale, moving from the pelvis first. All the way up as we look all the way up. And we exhale, moving from the pelvis first again. Tucking that whole chain. Feel that spine. Close your eyes if you need to. I'm not going to guide you now. 3 more on that breath. Inhaling. Head comes up last. Exhaling. Remember to move from the pelvis. Isolate your spine. Focus on one vertebrae at a time. Keep pushing yourself away from the ground. Nothing else moves but your entire spine here. We're not shifting our weight forward and back. Excellent work, everyone. Okay, I'm going to make us work a little bit harder now. I'm going to grab my timer. We are going to do a few holds. We're going to do a few animal flow holds, which are like super fun, and they're really good for core strength builders and also just overall mobility in the joints. So as I'm noticing right now, Jonathan doing this, I tend to forget that, I don't forget, but with my coach and myself, we do a lot of wrist mobility. So much wrist mobility. And especially because I'm trying to master handstands right now, it requires a lot. And when you start doing a lot of animal flow or you do yoga, it requires a lot of wrist mobility. So we're actually going to do a little bit of wrist stretches together, okay? Because I know everyone, like Jonathan here, is probably feeling a bit of tension in the wrists. So let's do a little bit of wrist mobility here. We're gonna go back to our tabletop position. And now this is the position we've been in this whole time. So this is what's hurting everyone. So instead, we're gonna use our fingers like this. You're gonna turn them in towards your knees. So sorry, out. So imagine your fingers are going out towards the wall on the outside and then in towards your knees. Yeah, so it's gonna look really weird and some people might not be able to go the full way, but that's fine. Now slight bend in the elbows because we don't wanna hyperextend like that, right? We wanna keep a slight bend. And then from here, we're gonna imagine like we start slowly sitting our butt back, but pressing our palms down. And then we're gonna shift forward and we're gonna do that 6 more times. So going back a little bit, feeling the stretch at the front of the forearms and shifting forward, back. Feel that stretch. Yes, we're gonna do that 3 more times. Embrace that stretch here. Embrace the sensations that you're feeling in your forearms. It might seem like nothing, but it's really good to take the time to do this. Okay, perfect. So now from here, we're gonna do the exact opposite. We're gonna turn our fingers in, and all the way in towards us. In, all the way in towards us. And then same, keeping a slight bend in those elbows, so trying not to fully lock our arms out. Slight bend. And again, we're gonna try and sit back towards our heels, still keeping our palms pressing down as much as we can. And back up, relieving some of the pressure, sitting back. Again, embrace the stretch here. It feels so good to stretch out the different muscles around our wrists, moving up our forearms. Especially when we're constantly on our phones and on electronics and computers all day long. We're doing all these little minute movements with our fingers and hands and wrists that it feels good to take time to do something like this, right? Which is the opposite of what we usually do. Okay, so now watch. We're just gonna come up, shake our hands out here, shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. And then watch, we're gonna put pressure on both of our fists here. And then we're gonna open one hand up, trying to press that wrist down to the ground, and then we're gonna close it again. And then we're gonna open the opposite hand up and close it again. Boom, open, close, open, close. We're gonna do that just a few more times. Opening, close, opening. I know this is stuff we rarely do, right? So it feels different. Open, close, open, close, and then watch another little movement that we're gonna do here, still keeping our fists like this. We're gonna reach our thumbs down and back. Thumbs down and back. Down and back. So we're stretching out the whole side of our wrist and hand here. And just feel that. I know it's not super, super comfortable. And now we're gonna do the opposite. It's like you're trying to bring your forearm down, right? You're trying to bring your forearm down, like your elbow down towards the ground, but you're still pushing a bit to get a bit of the stretch on the outside here. And you try to do the same on this side, back up, same on this side. So we're just moving up and down one side at a time to put a bit more intention in there. Just adding, it's almost like we're using the earth and the ground beneath us to put in a little bit of work and resistance and build some resilience around our wrists here. Nice, perfect. And now we're just gonna plant our palms down here and we're just gonna open up our fingers a bit. So we're just lifting our palm off the ground here. Yeah, all these little joints that we have, it's so important for us to connect like that, right? And now from here, just go up onto all of your fingers and press into the ground. Imagine you're trying to like push yourself away. Imagine you were trying to do a push-up from your fingers, right? Like a full, like you're putting weight into your fingers. It's weird, eh?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So what are you going through right now? Do you feel like your knuckles are trying to bend without your control?
No.
So what do you feel that, well, now you mastered it there. That position you have right now is perfect. Did you notice at first how your knuckles were trying to bend like that? And then you were able to straighten out your fingers?
It seems like a natural position for me.
Now I want you to fix your thumb,
No, that's where they are.
but I want you to try and press on the tips instead to strengthen them the other way. Yeah. You're like, no, that's how they are.
Doctor said that.
And relax. All right, open and close those hands. Shake them out a little bit here, you guys. Excellent, okay. So from here, we're gonna take it to our back a little bit. Actually, no, I completely lied. I'm skipping the whole component that I wanted you guys to do before I noticed that the wrists were hurting. So we're actually gonna go into our floating tabletop. That's gonna be a little challenge for us. This floating tabletop, what I mean by that is we're in our tabletop position, which we've already practiced a few times so far. And now from this position, as we're in our neutral tabletop, right? So we're not rounding and we're not arching, we're in our neutral tabletop, and we're just lifting the legs off the ground. Just a few inches, and then we're gonna hold ourselves in this position for 30 seconds together before we do some limb lifts. So
Before you start that, we got someone new in the chat. Oh, 40-year-old David.
oh, David, yo!
Kristen, watching from the same house.
Oh, love it. I hope you guys are doing it right now, not just watching. Okay, perfect. So this one's gonna be a little bit harder, right? And we're gonna hold it for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun rotating our limbs, okay? So let's get into position, you guys. Make sure you're keeping your abs nice and tight, and float those knees off. Make sure you're breathing as you're maintaining this position here. Keep a slight tuck in the pelvis just so that you squeeze your butt and you squeeze your lower abs. Stay in control. Keep those knees hovering off the ground. Try not to lift the knees too high up. What people tend to do is start shifting up like that. So keep those knees super close to the ground. Keep pushing yourself away from the ground. We just have a few more seconds here, you guys. I'm gonna make you hold it for 35 instead of 30. And relax, perfect, drop those knees. So watch, we're gonna do very, very similar thing, but we're gonna rotate our limbs. So as we have our knees floating, we're also gonna start lifting one limb at a time. So our arm, then our other arm, then our other leg, then our other leg. So in order to do that, we want to move from our joints. So what I mean is, for example, if I'm in this position here and I'm floating and I want to lift one limb, I don't want to bend my elbow. That's not what I want to do, right? I want to move from the shoulder joint. So I want to stick the humerus up in the shoulder socket. That's how I move. I move by sticking the entire humerus up in the shoulder socket. Lifting? Yeah, like that. So we're actually moving from our joint here, and it's gonna be the same in our legs. We're not gonna wanna bend our knee more because our knee are already gonna be floating. We're not trying to lift our foot, right? We're not trying to lift the leg part. We're trying to lift the femur, which is the biggest bone in our body, into our hip socket. So we're here and we're trying to lift this part up. Notice how I'm not moving my leg. I'm not moving this part. I'm moving this part. This is the part that's popping up into the hip socket, and same for the humerus. This is the part coming up. So you can even just try it out from here. You're almost trying to lift the bone into the socket. Lift the bone into the socket. Lift, 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 and it's like we're shortening, right? So we want to be moving from the joint. So we're going to hold it for 30 seconds again, but this time we'll be alternating, okay, from one side to the other. So let's do this, you guys. I know you've got it in you. And go. Float those knees and start with your right arm. In, right leg, left leg, left arm, right arm, right leg, left arm, right arm. We're almost there, you guys. Right leg, left arm. Let's do the left arm again. The left leg, the right leg, and the right arm. Good work, you guys. Okay, so that was 30 seconds. That was really good. So notice how it feels when we start isolating and when we start observing how our own body behaves in certain positions, right? So, you okay?
Yeah.
So let's just grab our palms into one another like this and do a few little circles with our wrists here. Yes. Imagine you're squeezing your palms into one another and you're trying to like draw circles with the knuckles on your fingers on the ceiling.
Hey, keep those comments coming. Flood that chat. We love it. We see all your emojis up there.
And then turn the opposite side. Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at the chat right now and I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. It's just that it's too far for me to be able to read right now.
We'll catch up with those comments after.
Yes, right after. Okay, and now watch. Put the palms of the hands top to top like this and just let your hands go. Like literally you're pressing them into one another and you're just letting them go at the same time, like loosening up. Nice. Notice how good that feels. It's like such a little movement, but it feels so good.
So good.
Perfect. Okay, shake it out. Excellent. So when I was talking about animal flow, this wasn't necessarily animal flow, but we're going to do a hold together that is a component of one of the moves or poses in animal flow, and it's going to be from our crab position. So our crab position, we want to make sure that our feet are flat to the ground. We have those nice hip width apart position, and from here we want our fingers pointing away from us. So the opposite of our toes, right? Exact opposite of our toes. So it's like our feet are, let's pretend our hands are our feet and it's pointing the opposite direction. So you want to find even type of alignment between your hands here behind you, and you want to center your bum between your heels and your hands. I know there's a lot of cues, you guys, but don't worry. Eventually it gets so much easier. And then from here, we want to purposely open our chest as much as we can. It's almost like we're trying to arch our spine. We're trying to extend it, right? And then as we lift our bum just a few inches off the ground, notice I'm trying to keep my butt in between my hands and my legs, and I'm trying to keep my chest open, my spine long, and I'm almost sticking my butt towards my hands, right? I'm not like this, like I'm not rounding or letting myself collapse. I'm keeping a super strong spine. Shift your butt forward a bit more. Yeah, even a bit more. Yeah, and now imagine you're arching your spine as much as you can. Nice. Imagine you're trying to bring your butt towards your hands a bit, just your butt, not your legs. Yes, that's it, perfect. Now feel that, you guys. We're just gonna spend a few more seconds. I know it's hard to maintain this position. Just notice the sensations that are happening and relax. Woo. Shake it out again. Put your palms together. Let the arms go. I know a lot of stuff to get those forearms and wrists challenged a bit today. But usually yoga, animal flow, a lot of the mobility drills that I really like require us to be on our hands. So the wrist mobility and all of this stretching and working on them is really good, and it's really beneficial for us for so many different reasons. But yeah, okay, perfect. So we've covered quite a few things. I know that it's already getting close to the hour, so I don't want to hold you guys up too long. We're going to do a few extra things, and then we're going to go into meditation, okay? So I really hope you guys weren't expecting a whole sweat on today, because I did say I was going to take it easy. I'm aware that it's the holidays, and we're the 28th today? Yeah, the 28th today, and super close to New Year's, just past the holidays. I know that everyone's kind of all over the place, and this year's been a very uneasy year. So let's get just a few more exercises and get into meditation, because I think that the meditation aspect is really important for everyone, to just take a little bit of time to ourselves, to center ourselves and focus, okay? So let's do one of my favorite mobility drills, actually. We're going to go into our squat position. And from our squat position, so imagine you're here, imagine you're squatting down, and then you want to bring your heels closer to one another. And you want to start sitting onto your heels. Okay, so you want to sit onto your heels, your legs are open wide, your upper body is nice and straight. So you're trying to find this alignment here, okay? And what we're going to do with this position is we're going to be inhaling here in this position as we open our arms up and try to arch our spine. So imagine you're trying to like balance something out in each hand, maybe an apple or some oranges or some delicious vegetables or fruits. And we're literally trying to balance them in our hands as we open our arms up as much as we can. Yes, and this is our inhale. So now as we inhale, we're going to start exhaling. And notice what I do next. I put my heels down to the ground. I reach my thumbs down and fingers forward. And I try and find a nice connection with my thighs and all of my body being parallel to the earth beneath me. So once we were in this position here with our arms open and wide, and then watch, we plant our heels down, we bring our thumbs forward and we try to find length. We want to try and find as if our whole body is being spread apart here. Yeah, thumbs down more. Yes, just like that with our ears in between our arms. Up, butt up a bit more, and reach up a bit more. Yes, perfect, perfect alignment here. So this is exactly what we're looking for. And then inhale, come back down. Sit onto your heels, open up wide. Yes, exactly. So we inhale, we're sitting on our heels, we're opening up wide, our whole body is open, taking the inhale on this breath. And then we exhale. Plant the heels down, reach forward, spread. It's like someone's trying to pull on our hips and someone's pulling on our wrists and arms, and we can feel our whole body spreading apart here as we exhale. Then we inhale. Let's just do that one more time, you guys. Inhaling, opening up, trying to reach and expand the spine as much as possible. And exhale. Reach, 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 reach. Feel the contrast. Feel like you're stretching your spine out. And relax. Perfect. We're going to kneel down here. And we're just going to finish with a few of our cat-cows, but from our kneeling position. So from this kneeling position here, we're going to bring our palms to our thighs, where we open up and inhale, that same position we were just doing when we were here, right? But we're not gonna open our arms up, we're just gonna keep them on our thighs, but we wanna feel that intention of opening the chest, engaging and lengthening the spine, okay? In the inhale. And then we exhale, we tuck the chin, we drag our arms down our legs, and we hold on to our knees as leverage, as we round our entire back body and feel. So hold on to your knees and imagine like all of this is, I'm pulling you here. Yeah, do you feel that? Feel that. Imagine someone's pulling you from behind and you're able to hold on, leveraging your own knees. So it's like someone's pulling you from the torso back and you can feel all of the opening in your back body here. Tucking that chin, feel the stretch at the back of the neck, back of the shoulder blades, everything. And then inhale back up. And start arching that spine, lengthen yourself as much as you can, the exact contrast and opposite that we just did. So really lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. You can even press into your thighs to try and find even more length and create even more space in between your vertebrae. And then exhale, tuck that chin, go down those legs, let your whole back collapse and just round and feel the entire stretch in your whole back body. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. Inhale back up. Perfect. Rock those shoulders a bit, you guys. Create a bit of space again. Let's just twist from this kneeling position a bit from side to side here, trying to generate a bit of motion in the spine. Again, noticing the difference right now in our twist compared to when we first started today, right? We did this in a bit of our warm-up routine. Notice how different it feels, like how much more you're probably able to twist, how much looser your spine feels, or how much heat you've been able to generate there. So from here, we are now going to bring our legs straight out in front of us. And first, we're even going to bring them apart a little bit. You can just put your legs. Oh. Yeah, perfect. And then from here, we're literally going to reach. We're wanting to reach forward. And again, it's the same principle today, right? A lot of spinal work, always central nervous system, just, so important. So we're just wanting to generate a lot of movement in our spine, okay? So imagine you're reaching forward with your arms and your chin's reaching forward, 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 and then you start rounding as you push yourself back up. Straight. So find a bit of flow maybe. So watch, I'm gonna show you really quickly. Reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, round, and come back up. Reach forward, reach forward, reach forward. Boom. Create a wave in your body, like you're being led forward, and then you round up high and you come back. Create that wave. Make it feel good in your spine, in your neck, in your lower back body. One more like that. And now from the top here, once we come back from our final wave, we're just gonna shift and move our hips towards our right foot here. We're gonna put our hands on each side of our right knee, and we're just gonna let ourselves collapse. So imagine you're just letting the weight of your body collapse towards your leg. Like for me, I can let my whole body collapse over my leg, but keep your hands on each side of your knee and just let yourself collapse towards your leg as close as you can towards your leg. If you can, connect your forehead to your knee, excellent. But try to keep that leg nice and straight. We don't want to bend it too much. So don't worry, even if you're feeling tight and tension in the body, the beauty with that is that there's only room for progression from there. Anytime we notice things like that, it's like, oh, I have space for improvement, right? So it's not something that's negative. It's literally just like, oh, okay, maybe I've accumulated a little bit too much tension in my body, but now I know that I have space for improvement and I can only progress from here. So perfect. Come back to center. Notice how much you stretched out that left side here. And then we're just going to slowly turn point our hips towards our right, hands on the side of the knee, and we let ourselves just collapse from here as well. And notice there's always one side that's different than the other. So for me, my left side always tends to be a lot stiffer than my right. And just notice which side that is for you. And then sometimes try to bring a little bit more awareness after that, knowing that you have one side that's tighter than the other, or one side you're compensating on more than the other. Just start bringing awareness there. So for example, maybe you're washing the dishes and then you notice you're leaning over towards one hip more than the other. Well, then rather than just notice and keep doing the same thing, maybe switch hips. Like just kind of trying to bring more symmetry and awareness into your life on both sides of the body. Perfect. Come back up to center. Excellent. We're going to bring our legs into one another, and we're going to try and just reach our arms forward as much as we can and collapse ourselves over both legs at the same time. If you can reach your toes or your feet to help maybe grab a little bit of leverage. And if not, just keep your arms. Honestly, you don't want to be uncomfortable necessarily here. You want to be a little more comfortable than uncomfortable. So just find a bit of comfort within a little bit of discomfort, not too much. We're not trying to be in pain. And of course, we want to challenge ourselves. But when we're stretching and giving our body a little bit of TLC, like there's no point in trying to overdo it, right? We just want to feel. So if anything, take the time to close your eyes and to breathe into it, to breathe and observe the different sensations that are in your body right now. Okay, slowly come back up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and mindfully lengthening that spine up high, reaching your arms up overhead, finding all this length in the body as if someone's literally pulling you up towards the heavens. Reach, 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 and then interlace those fingers behind you again, push down like you're trying to pull down. Yeah, and then just let your arms go back behind you, fingers pointing back again. And just one last little try here. We're gonna reach our hips up high, straighten our legs, straighten everything up, and just push up into your reverse plank here. Excellent work. Right back down. Excellent, you guys. Okay, so I know it's already been the hour, but we're gonna go into at least a 5 to 10 minute meditation together. So you can, find a really comfortable position wherever you are. Maybe you already have a space at home that you use for meditation. So maybe you want to move your things there, or you want to use the same space where you've exercised and just take place on your mat and get nice and comfortable. So maybe you have props like blocks. Sometimes blocks can help elevate your hips a little bit higher so that you feel a little bit more comfortable when you're seated in your meditation position, right? So sitting on a block helps elevate our hips higher than our knees, and it just helps reduce a little bit of the discomfort as we're sitting. Okay, so for some of you, you might want to be using that option. I literally like to bring the heel of my foot. It's like I'm trying to bring my shin and the top of my foot down towards the ground, and then I try to do the same with the other one. I try to bring that heel pointing up towards the sky, the top of my foot and my shin down, and I feel that gives me a pretty comfortable grounding position here, okay? So you can put your arms wherever you'd like. You might like to keep them on each side of your thighs or maybe into your center here. I like to connect my arms together like this. And we still want to find a nice length in the spine. We don't want to let ourselves slouch or round over. We still want to keep a bit of engagement in our core muscles. And just slowly close your eyes from here. Start allowing yourself to relax. So allow the different muscles in your body to let go. Imagine gravity taking place right now. So if we bring attention to our forehead, we can feel our skin and the space around our eyebrows and our eyes simply relax. We can feel those muscles letting go. Any of the tension that was present around our eyes, our eyebrows, or in between the eyebrows where we have our third eye. Any of those spaces are now finally releasing completely. We're allowing all of those muscles to let go. We keep observing around our ears, around our cheeks, our jaw. We let absolutely everything relax here. So no clenching of the teeth. We're letting the teeth rest apart from one another. We're letting the tongue rest completely. We're trying not to force the tongue on the palate. We're just letting it rest and be heavy. We're letting our lips and the spaces around our jaw and ears be heavy. Release any tension, any tightness. We're allowing all of the muscles in our face to relax, to completely relax. Letting gravity take place. Bringing our attention around our head, to the muscles around our skull, around our neck, and we're letting everything go. We're consciously breathing from the nose as we're aware of all of the different sensations in our body. And we allow ourselves to completely release and let go of any tension that remains. So we start bringing our awareness down from the shoulders. Maybe we want to bring that awareness to both arms at the same time or one arm at a time. But we allow the muscles to relax in our arms, in our shoulders, in our biceps, our triceps, around your elbow joint, the forearms, the wrists, your hands. It's almost like your whole body is becoming a part of the earth beneath you. It's almost like you're so relaxed, like every muscle is so loose. You almost just feel yourself blending into the earth. Being one with the earth. Release the muscles around your chest, around your back. Scan all the way down your torso, all around, releasing those core muscles, letting yourself release any unnecessary tension. Scanning our entire body, remaining present and aware, and letting go of anything that doesn't serve us. Maybe we have thoughts coming in to our mind, arising, and that's normal. We constantly have thoughts. The difference here is whether you'll give them power or not. So you can acknowledge that there are thoughts there. There will always be thoughts there. But we can also not give those thoughts any power. So we acknowledge that they're there, but we don't follow them. We simply remain present. We remain present with ourselves, scanning our body, allowing ourselves to relax, to stay present, to remain aware. Usually our thoughts want to drag us in the past or they want to drag us in the future. It's rarely to keep us in our presence. So again, bring your awareness around your face again, around your skull, and allow all of those spaces to release. You might have finished scanning all the way down to your toes, down the legs and the hips. And try to come back from that. So it's wonderful when we spend this time focusing on ourselves, focusing on the different sensations, observing the different sensations in our body, or simply allowing ourselves to relax every space, to connect with every space in our body and allow ourselves to relax and to feel it happening physically. The beauty is to allow ourselves to be present, to be completely mindful of ourselves, of the different sensations arising in our body. Start bringing your attention directly to this space beneath your nostrils and above your upper lip. The same way that we were scanning out our body and relaxing everything intentionally. Now we're just going to bring our attention to the space on the surface of our skin below the nostrils and above the upper lip. And we're going to focus all of our attention there to observe whatever sensation occurs in that space. So for example, we can take a super deep inhale from our nose and exhale deeply from the nose. And notice what you felt in that space beneath your nostrils and above your upper lip. When you took that deep inhale and exhale from the nose, you most likely felt the air in that space. So in this moment, without our deep inhales and exhales, but still softly and not necessarily controlling our breath, but just observing the breath occurring through our nose, through our nostrils, we start bringing our attention to that space and we start observing whatever sensation arises in that space, beneath the nostrils and above the upper lip. So we're not so much controlling our breath anymore, but we are breathing through the nostrils. And we are allowing ourselves to relax, and we're simply focusing our mind on this specific task, on observing any sensation arising or occurring on the space beneath our nostrils and above our upper lip. And those sensations can mean your own breath, or the air in the room. You can be feeling heat or cold or warmth or maybe humidity or maybe sweat, maybe even an itch, maybe even no sensation. Whatever it is that you are experiencing, your reality as is in this moment, simply accept that reality as is. Simply accept that maybe you're not feeling any sensations, or maybe you're feeling so many sensations. And just continue to observe, continue to sharpen your mind as you observe and connect with those different sensations occurring at this moment in time. Remaining present and equanimous. So maybe we even observe uncomfortable sensations like an itch. And even if it is itching, we're not going to scratch it. We're going to resist the urge, and we're simply going to continue to observe without getting upset, without getting aggravated or annoyed, simply by remaining neutral, objective, equanimous as we observe the different sensations, even if they're unpleasant. Whether the sensations are pleasant or unpleasant, we're not trying to create more cravings, nor are we trying to create more aversions. So we don't want to crave the sensation. Maybe it's this wonderful vibration there. But even if it is, we don't want to crave it. We only want to observe that vibration. And maybe it's a really annoying itch. And if it is, it doesn't matter. We just observe it. And if we observe it long enough without reacting, eventually everything arises and passes away. Everything is temporary. It's the law of impermanence. Absolutely everything is temporary. Our own life, the life of our family and friends, the life of the building or the house that we live in, the trees that we look at outside. Everything is temporary. Every moment is temporary. This moment is temporary. The sensations that you'll be feeling or observing will be temporary. And interestingly enough, the less we react to things, the easier it gets. So this is an amazing practice. Focusing on the space beneath our nostrils and above our upper lip. A specific space that is close to where we breathe, breathing through our nose. That allows us an opportunity to sharpen our mind, to observe whatever sensation occurs in that space, and to remain focused on the task at hand. So to not give power to our thoughts, not get carried away, be stuck in the past or in the future, but au contraire, to remain very, very present with ourselves, focusing on reality as is, on whatever it is that's happening on that space beneath our nostrils and above our upper lip. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes here to just focus on that space without my voice as a distraction. So we're just going to allow ourselves to be in this moment and try to remain focused on that space. Try to remain present and to simply observe and remain equanimous. Maybe even with a slight smile on your face. Notice if your mind has wandered, if you just caught yourself being somewhere else. That's entirely normal. It usually happens when we first start practicing Vipassana or Anapana. So don't be too hard on yourself. The whole point is to remain equanimous. So let's slowly awaken our body a little bit, moving from side to side, taking a deep breath, inhaling our arms up overhead. Reach. Extend the spine, relax the arms down. Maybe extend your legs out a little bit. Shake them about. Give yourself a little round of applause for doing so good. And not only for doing a bit of mobility with us, some active stretching, bit of extra challenges in there, and some awesome meditation. So that was excellent, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Boom! No. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I'm gonna come and look at my little chat up here with my awesome persons. What are you guys doing up here? Who we got here? All right. What's up, you guys? I'll just add a Tarzan noise. That's so funny. Yes, I was being really nice about 2020. We're definitely all on different pages for 2020, but yes, I was trying to be a little nice about that. I'm reading up the chat right now. I love it. I know,
Yeah.
little Mowgli. Little Mowgli joined us.
Oh, 6'3", man.
There's actually
I look twice the size of Michelle.
Yes, I'm very Canadian.
Thanks for watching.
Yay. Okay. Anyways, love you guys. Had so much fun. And I am going to be keeping myself accountable for the month of January to do 3 live workouts a week. So I'm going to start announcing them, and I'm hoping that all of you can make it as well. So peace out. Tons of love. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
What are your stats on that?